If you've been playing shooter games for a while, you've probably had some of those days where you're just like, man, I don't know why, but I just can't hit my shots. Don't worry, you're not alone. It happens to all of us. It comes from jumping on, getting right into the game, and letting bad habits creep in over time. And this video was inspired by me recognizing I was getting lazy myself. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you a simple warm-up that will build good habits and keep your aim sharp. You'll also be able to scale this up or down for your own skill level. And to be clear, this doesn't just apply to mouse and keyboard. These fundamentals translate to controller as well. Aim Labs is on Xbox, so if you're on an Xbox, you'll be able to follow along. But before we get into it, first, I want to simplify aim training in general. When it comes to the topic of aiming, people really like to overcomplicate it, but your aim really only comes down to two main skills, and those are number one, how quickly you can flick to a target, number two, how well you can track and stay on target. Now, there are a bunch of other micro skills when it comes to aim training, but they really only fall under those two main categories. The two biggest areas I personally struggle with when it comes to aiming is over flicking because I'm trying to move too fast, and moving off target while I'm tracking because I'm trying to predict the enemy's movement instead of just reacting to it. Now, sometimes there are situations where you can predict the movement, like when an enemy jumps, or they only have one direction to go, but for the most part, you really want to focus on the target and react as quickly as possible instead of trying to guess. By the way, if you're looking for some background music to listen to while you're aim training that's not too distracting, check out my royalty-free album on Spotify. The music playing on the video right now is from the album. Again, it's royalty-free, so you're safe to use it in your live streams, content, or whatever. Link will be in the description, or you can scan the QR code on screen right now. Alright, so what I like to do for a simple warm-up is go into the search bar in Aim Labs and type in Voltaic Fundamentals, and today we're going to be starting with the Iron playlist because it's the easiest, and I haven't gotten a lot of sleep lately, so don't judge me. But if you find it's too easy for you, you can choose bronze, silver, gold, whatever works for you. The first exercise in the playlist is the one I like to start with, VT Centering 90 Easy. This one is good for just waking up the muscles in your hand and getting used to tracking a target at a smooth, consistent pace. I also really like it because it's a bit of a warm-up for your brain and eyes. There are eye warm-up videos out there, but the entire point is just to get your eyes used to tracking a target. This may sound kind of dumb and obvious, but your aim tends to go where your eyes are focused, so this also tends to sync up your eyes and hand reaction. Next, we're going to scroll down on the playlist and find VT Pill Track Far Long Strafes. This is where we start to have to react a bit more because the target's moving a little bit more quickly and changes direction. This is where a lot of your mid-range fights take place, especially in games like Call of Duty, where you'll catch someone running across the map. And like I said earlier, I personally struggle with over flicking when I react to a target and also trying to predict its movement instead of focusing on the target. So this is where I start to actively focus on building good habits and getting rid of my bad ones. Next, we're going to scroll down and find the VT Pill Track Close Long Strafes. This is basically the same as the last one, but with the target being much closer and the strafes being extra long. It really forces you to focus on the target and track it for a really long time. This is especially good for games like Warzone and Apex Legends with longer times to kill. If you're like me, you'll find the urge to try to predict when the target is going to switch direction, and I really have to fight that instinct and just commit to tracking the target all the way in one direction. And before any of the insanely skilled mouse and keyboard players comment that this is all stupid or easy, remember, this is supposed to just be a simple warm-up to get you ready and build good habits. Once you're warmed up, you can obviously always go into other drills and start building or grow your aim even more. The next drill is the final evolution of this exercise, which is called Kinda Close Fast Strafes. This is where, even at iron level, it starts to get a little more difficult and is starting to simulate what it's like when you get into gunfights in-game. The target moves somewhat quickly and changes directions a lot, just like any decent player will be moving in your game. This drill also tests how quickly you can snap to a target, because if you're slow, by the time you get on target, it's already changing direction, or it's about to. So this kind of puts together the two pieces of aiming, how quickly you can acquire a target and how well you can track it. This is where my bad habits really get put to the test. Usually if I get this drill and I'm struggling, I also tend to struggle in game, and vice versa. If I do really well with this drill on my warm-up, I usually have good games. Now this last drill is admittedly a little easy and it does look silly, but again, we're just trying to get warmed up and ready. Scroll all the way down on the playlist until you find VT Pills Static Easy. These are literally just pills that sit there and pop up in different places as you destroy them. It's really simple, but I like it for two main reasons. Number one, it gets you in the mindset that after you finish one target, you're always on the hunt for the next target. And number two, as you play it more and more, you'll start to learn and understand target priority. After you destroy one target, you'll obviously want to snap to the next closest target instead of one that's far away. And this translates in-game to finding that next target that is either closest to you or the one that's the biggest threat. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment sections. What are you struggling with the most when it comes to aim training or aiming? What have you found the most helpful? Or just drop a comment. I'd love to know what your main game is. If you like that video and you want to watch another one, click here.